All right, now I'm Pat, and I'm gonna be talking about my first impressions of the new Fortnite chapter. It's been out for 2 weeks already, and I want to get my thoughts out. And please share yours. Any comments? I want to hear other people's opinions. And the first mechanic I want to talk about. Also, I'm gonna be comparing this chapter with chapter 4, 5, 6, because they're like the best I can remember. This is just like my first impressions of chapter 7. So, maybe things will change. They're not my full thoughts on this chapter. But the wave mechanic, okay, we got the battle bus. So, I really do not like the wave mechanic. I think it's just really restrictive. Like, you'll land here. I mean, they'll put you here and you can maybe just go here, here, here. If we get the battle bus, you can land pretty much anywhere here. It just feels so restrictive. Like maybe here we won't be able to land respectably. It'll be like a hassle going to. But like with with the wave mechanic, you can only land like 3 places. Sometimes maybe even one. And like they're like removing it, so I'm kind of feel like it didn't even matter bringing it in. Also, the new map is pretty. I really like it. Well, I wouldn't say I really like it. I really like how it looks, but I think I'm at the point where Fortnite maps are just gonna look the same to me. I'm gonna play them and they're just gonna feel the same to me. Unless there's like something huge that changes, I don't think think Fortnite maps will matter to me. They're gonna feel the same. And another point, we got a new item called the wingsuits where we can fly and stuff. And I think they might be like really important, maybe really important for like the rest of this chapter. I thought sprites were gonna be really important for last chapter, but they were really important for half of the chapter. Basically, just 2 seasons. So who knows? Maybe wingsuits won't be important, but they're just another movement item, which are nice. I grew to like them. I actually recorded this video a week ago and I didn't like it, so I re-recorded it. And my opinion on the wingsuits weren't positive, but now I do like them. All right, and we got new weapons, and kind of just like the. I gotta say, I think the weapons so far just kind of feel the same, or I don't think we're gonna get many weapons that feel unique. I think from the future of now, weapons are just gonna feel the same. All the new weapons kind of feel like we've seen them before, or we've seen like similar concepts to them. Unless they really make the weapons unique, I don't. They just feel like the same. And we we also got new hit markers, and when you hit someone, they make like a new noise. And honestly, it sounds pretty satisfying. But I've been playing Fortnite for 8 years, and I can I can live without the new noise. It's like a simple noise, but I don't think in the long run it matters all that much. And oh yeah, we got this arc lightning gun. which I would say it's the most unique weapon. But I feel like at least every season we get at least one really unique weapon, and the lightning gun is that unique weapon. I don't feel like we're gonna get like that much of the same caliber as as the lightning gun. All right, and we have writable reboot bans. Now, when I heard about this, I thought, oh, I'm gonna be really annoying with this. I'm gonna drive them off the map, or someone else is gonna be really annoying with the writable reboot bans. But honestly, no. People just use them the same to like revive and get to places. And honestly, it's cool, but it's another one of those things that I can live without. And we also got a self revive, and that's also cool. We got an item that can self revive, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the self revive later. But one thing that I really dislike is that it's pretty inconsistent. Like you won't use it every game. There's a guy over there, but I'm not gonna fight him. Yeah, so it's this cool mechanic that we're not gonna use every game. And another thing is the bosses. We can fight bosses and become one, and that's pretty cool. Like I will say, every time I say talk about these things that are cool, they are cool, but like they're cool stuff that I can live without. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. And oh, he had good loot. Real player? There's another thing. There are anomalies. Sometimes when you're playing a game, you'll get like an anomaly. Like if you stand still, you're invisible. If you break things, you get gold. And, and that's actually really cool. But the thing is, look, there's 18 players left and we haven't gotten one. It would be really cool if that happened every game, but it doesn't. It happens like, I don't know. I feel like it happens like once every 10 games. I feel like I don't encounter it that much. Another thing I forgot to point out is that gold, now start with 0 gold every game, but they give more amounts of gold. And I like that mechanic, but I'm also like used to the other mechanic where we just have it. But it's a good change. They also changed some like UI things which I don't like, but I'll probably get used to later on. But oh, I got distracted looking at my notes. That's why I went here. Okay, now for my other point, this is where I compare Chapter 7 to other seasons. And in Chapter 4, we got augments. Every game we would get augments unless you die like in the first minute. But you interacted with that mechanic every time you played a game. Chapter 5, guns now had attachments. You were gonna interact with that mechanic every single game. Uh, Chapter 6, you don't have those mechanics, but they brought in sprites, they brought in totems, they brought in boons, and most likely you interacted with those mechanics. Sometimes you didn't, but they were like very important features. And sadly, the rest of Chapter 6 didn't use the mechanic at its full potential, but that's for a different video that we should talk about that. And in this season, I feel like there's no main mechanic that feels like, yeah, you're gonna force to use this. It feels like you can play. It, it feels like every game, the new mechanics, you might not even interact with them. And I'm gonna say it. I don't. I don't think a season needs to be good. To a season needs like a brand new main mechanic that you need to interact with, like the whole game. But it does feel like, all right, okay, good. I got eliminated there because I was losing my train of thought. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, I don't think a good cha beginning of a chapter or a whole chapter needs like a whole new mechanic that you need to like interact with every moment of the chapter, like chapter 4 or chapter 5 with the augments and gun attachments. Uh, it could be like chapter 6 where, yeah, we got the sprites, the balloons, the totems. You can interact with them, you can not interact with them, but it was really beneficial to like interact with them. And like this new chapter, it feels like every new mechanic you can just kind of like not interact with. It kind of feels like there's no new point of the new of there being a new chapter, you know? Like this still could have been like chapter 6. Like I'm pretty sure in chapter 3 they introduced like no build and that was like huge. They could have started a new chapter with that, but they didn't. It went through. They did it in like the middle of chapter 3, and the whole reboot bands being able to move a whole revive system. It feels like they could have done that. If they did that in chapter 3 with zero build mode, they could have done that with the the new stuff that they brought. So yeah, it just feels like the new mechanics kind of feel like there's no reason for like a new chapter. And if they did have us interact with like a brand new whole mechanic, there's a chance I wouldn't even like it. I like chapter 4's augment systems. I like chapter 5's uh, attachment systems, but I did not like uh, chapter 5's first start. I had a lot of problems with that, and they didn't really fix much with the attachment system. So yeah, it's kind of like even if there was something you can interact with all the time, it might not feel good. But at least I feel chapter 5 had a good reason to start as a new chapter instead of chapter 7. To end off my thoughts, I think so far this seems like an alright chapter. I like it, I just don't love it. It's like kind of like the most middle of the road season. Chapter 4, I loved it. I loved it the whole way through. Chapter 5, I did not love. Chapter 6, I thought I was gonna love it, and I loved half of it. Half of the seasons, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And I was like, this might be peak Fortnite. And the other half, I was like, oh, this is awful. This might be poop Fortnite. But so far, this chapter seems okay. Uh, it's still Fortnite. I love Fortnite, so I'm gonna have fun. But obviously, there's gonna be like other chapters I feel are gonna be fun. Hopefully, the new seasons are more fun and improve upon the first season of this chapter. That's gonna be it. Bye bye.